Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Trade Talks Live. I am Roger Wakefield. And as you see, man, I'm here alone today. Squirt's not feeling good, so he's staying home in bed. And, man, y'all get me. So the cool thing about that is, well, I get to do it my way. Well, we're still going to do things the normal way, but those of y'all that have never been here before, welcome to the show. We go live each and every day talking about all the trades. And we do this because it's something that I learned a long time ago. If you will study your business, your profession, your niche, your industry, each and every day for 30 minutes to an hour, you can move up to be in the top 5% of your industry. And we do that because we want to be the best. And if you're one of those people that you want to be the best, you want to do things a little bit different, that's why we do this. That way, every day you can get up, you can jump in here and watch this. We do it at 10 o'clock Central Time, which is 11 on the East Coast. So no matter where you are in the country, it's lunchtime. And you can turn it on, sit and listen to it while you eat lunch. This is going to help you grow in your industry. This is going to help you become the most professional you can be. And it's not so you know everything about everything. So there's less out there that you don't know anything about. So if you've been here before, welcome back. If you're new here, enjoy the ride. We're going to start talking about different topics. We talk about different topics every 5 minutes. So don't go away. You're going to miss something that maybe could help you. Now, this video is sponsored by me. I love this because I get to do this because I get to help people learn about YouTube. And learning about YouTube, oh, wait. As you see, Squirt's not here. Normally, Squirt's with me. So if this is your first time here, normally I've got my son here with me. He is actually out today. He was not feeling good. Texted me this morning. Says, man, look, I don't feel good. I said, just stay in bed. You're fine. I got this. So I can handle it. So here we go. Like I said, this video is sponsored by me. And what I do YouTube. And I started doing YouTube 7.5 years ago to grow a plumbing company. And as that plumbing company grew, so did my YouTube. And we got to the point where we had to decide, what do I do? Well, I decided to do YouTube, so we sold the plumbing company. So we grew it, we scaled it, we sold it. Nowadays, I teach people how to do YouTube to grow their business. If you want to learn more about it, go check out justmattroger.com and see what you find. I think you'll enjoy it. And if you're not doing YouTube, it's something you need to think about, because I think in the next 5 years, YouTube is going to be more valuable, more important to you than your plumbing company is, or than your website is, not your plumbing company. But whatever type company it is, YouTube is going to be more valuable to you just because of that. It's the second largest search engine in the world, and you should be there. Now, it's also sponsored by Residential Service Professionals. Residential Service Professionals is not just a best practice group. It's a best practice group that teaches you how to do things your way, how to do things, how to build the company that you wanted to build, and implement systems and processes to help you do things right, to help you make more money, to help give you back more time and more money each and every week. Now, if you've thought about joining a best practice group, but you don't feel like getting handcuffed to them, becoming a slave to them, doing every single thing they tell you have to do, they'll have you branded the way they want you branded. We want you to build the company that you wanted to build, and we can help you do it. If you want to find out more about it, go to residentialserviceprofessionals.com. And the last one, of course, is LeakPro. Glad that LeakPro is something that I discovered again, about 7.5 years ago, because it was it's about 7 years ago, because it was in San Diego. I was at a social media marketing conference to learn YouTube, met the founder of LeakPro, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is my new go-to system. And it was almost immediately. But LeakPro is the most precise leak detection system designed by plumbers for plumbers. Guys, if you want to increase your bottom line, and you want to do it with the best equipment to help you get there, check out Leak.pro. Leak.pro has the complete kit, which I think is phenomenal. When I had my truck that I was running, I didn't go anywhere without it, because I knew when I walked into people's houses, I could look at the meter and see if they've got a leak, and they may have a leak that they weren't even aware of. And if they did have one, I wanted to be the guy that could show them where it was. So if you want to learn more about it, go check out leak.pro. And if you don't know about leak detection, you don't know how to get started, give Squirt a call at 8888 LeakPro, because he runs a training system here where he trains you to locate the lines, find the leaks, not just on the water lines, but also how to isolate sewer lines, both on cast iron and PVC. So if you want to learn more about it, go check out leak.pro. All right. I got one thing I need to do right there, and we are good. I'm jump into the comments real quick. Plumber in the Trades says, good morning, Roger. Today we're learning sleeving. What most of my apprenticeship has been so far. We use the Hilti Tool Station or Hilti Total Station at my company. I used to be one of the first ones in Dallas using a total station in the plumbing industry, and I got to tell you, it was phenomenal. Brother Matt McDonough in the house says, go LeakPro and Roger Wakefield Plumbing Education. Guys, make sure you like and subscribe. Oh, and here he is up here. Mr. Miyagi of Plumbing. Well, Viking Leak Whisperer is out today. Happy Margarita Monday. Did you put him in timeout? He lives in timeout. So anyway, great seeing you in here, brother. Hope everything is wonderful in Phoenix or Vegas or California or wherever you are today. All right, so we're going to start off with the national news. And we're talking about the crane count. The crane count in major North American cities has dropped a lot, guys. You know, me and Squirt talk about this all the time. We love flying into a city. And, you know, sometimes you can see them from the plane. It's like we start looking at all the tower cranes. But across North America, the total number of active tower cranes dropped 44%. And it is dropping about that much year over year. According to the latest Ryder-Levitt-Bucknell Index, cities like Los Angeles, Seattle, Toronto, these are the ones that there's normally a lot in, and they have seen some of the steepest declines. Now, this is driven mostly by stalled multifamily projects and delayed financing. And guys, without money, this stuff doesn't get built. Now, that's not all bad news, though, because secondary markets like Nashville, Charlotte, and Phoenix, they're still gaining a little bit. And the activity as developers chase lower costs and faster approvals, that activity is helping keep more tradespeople busy. The bigger takeaway for the trades, guys, this slowdown kind of reshuffles the opportunity. If you're used to high-rise or mixed-use work, it might be time to change and look at the public infrastructure or maybe manufacturing retrofits. Industrial's still doing pretty good. The companies who stay adaptable during downtime often come out with the biggest backlog when things rebound, because you don't quit looking for work just because you got your guys busy. You just look in different places. All right, we're going to move right into the bottom line. Interpreting the builder sentiment data. Now, the NAHB, the North American Home Builders Builder Sentiment Index, ticked up 4 points this month. The reason being, this is the first month that they've seen in half a year, and its optimism doesn't mean that the jobs are already pouring in, but it ticks up because everybody's starting to say, look, this is fixing to happen. Here we go. Now, it usually signals stability, not a big surge. Smart contractors see this kind of data the same way they read a weather forecast. You look at it and you say, okay, it's supposed to rain tomorrow, but that doesn't mean that you're not going to go to work. It doesn't mean you're not going to go outside. It doesn't mean you're going to put on your raincoat and wear it around all day just in case it does. If skies are clearing up, maybe it's time to prep, not celebrate. And this is the season to line up subcontractors. Renegotiate your material pricing. Do it when it's slow, not when it's busy. When it's busy, they know you got to get it. This will help you strengthen your supplier relationships before the rush returns. If you think of this as kind of tuning your engine before you get ready to go on your next trip, you put your truck in the shop. Hey, I want you to check the belts, the hoses, the tires. I want to check everything before I go on this cross-country trip. Preparation now means speed later. You're not going to be slowed down. You're not going to have problems. You're not going to have issues. And those who read between the lines in market sentiment end up first in line when everything starts finally hitting the dirt. Guys, you got to get ready for stuff. You know, Jim Rohn talks about what season are you in? You know, there's planting, there's waiting, there's reaping, there's selling. There's all of the different seasons. You've got to understand that businesses don't just stay strong and busy and running 90 miles an hour each and every single day. Now, you can get there with the right marketing, with the right advertising, with the right social media, but you've got to keep your eyes open. Matt says, got a question. Is it bad to convert a tool pouch into a fishing pouch? No, brother, that's called repurposing. We do it in social media all the time. I love the way you think, Matt. All right, we're going to roll into safety here, guys. Integrating technology, and this is one that Squirt loves, but it's wearables and sensors. Integrating those into your safety systems, okay? Because safety tech, it's coming, it's growing, and it's growing quick. But wearables like the Triax Spot R and the Guard Hat are now tracking movement, fall detection, temperature exposure, and even dangerous gas levels. You feed that data straight into dashboards. Some contractors using these systems report up to 25% fewer incidents because supervisors can intervene before a near miss becomes an accident. The real advantage isn't reaction, it is prediction. When you collect data on behavior patterns, you start to see who's working fatigued or when certain tasks are consistently triggering alerts. That's where the next generation of safety is headed. I thought I had some chapstick in here, but I don't think I do. Guys, if we'll get there faster, we're going to save lives faster. But yes, you've got to handle privacy the right way. Transparency builds trust. But this is one of the rare cases where tech genuinely protects people, not just profit. And a lot of these companies, I know, they're like, look, we don't want to invest a lot of money. We don't want to spend a ton of money on safety. But guys, at the end of the day, it's going to help you make more money. If you can detect that someone is exhausted, maybe they're working too much overtime, but if your systems can detect that, if the safety equipment that they wear can detect that, you're going to put your people in a better place. You're going to make them work smarter. You're going to make them work safer. So anytime that you can think about anything at all like that, you know, we talk about safety, especially on Mondays and Fridays. Safety is a big deal, but we talk about it on Mondays and Fridays because that's when most accidents occur. If you've got a crew and it's Monday and you know, hey, look, most people are thinking about, make sure my deal's going here. Most people are thinking about what they did over the weekend. That's what their thoughts are on Monday. You know, I had so much fun this weekend. I got to go do this. I got to go do this. I got to go do this. Then you start looking at Fridays and people are thinking about what they're going to be doing. If you can have vests and hard hats on people that are remotely sending messages like, hey, look, this person's tired or this person's been in the heat too long. Maybe they're staying in the heat. They're not taking a break because they're like, look, I want to get this done because I'm going to get out of here, because I'm going to go do something different. I'm going to get out on the lake. I'm going to go hunting. I'm going to go fishing, whatever it is. So always look at what safety equipment's out there that can help you work smarter as a company owner, not harder. All right, we're going to roll into new construction. Supply chain consolidation impact on material lead times. Now, this is a good one because Lowe's has completed its acquisition of foundation building materials. Now we're seeing more consolidation in the supply chain, especially for like gypboard, studs, ceiling systems. Guys, they can get this anywhere now. It used to be you couldn't get stuff like this. Home Depot made a big acquisition and they were able to start selling a lot of press fittings, stuff that were normally only at the supply house. For contractors, this can mean fewer distributors to choose from and longer regional lead times. You might get bulk discounts, but you're going to lose the flexibility maybe that you've had. Now, this is where relationships matter more than ever. If you've got a trusted rep at a local supply house, keep talking to them. Keep them close. They can sometimes get you product when corporate doesn't even answer the phone. Now, the smartest companies, pre-buying or warehousing key products that they know that they're going to need, they know they use, and they're tracking them. I remember when we had shipping problems and everything. I walked onto the Charlotte pipe laydown yard, and they're like, Roger, normally you can't even see the concrete here or the asphalt. It's normally covered in pipe. And they were actually having to ration out pipe to supply houses. This is a problem when we get really busy because the manufacturers feel like they need to do that. And then you've got to figure out how to schedule your crews. The message is simple. Don't assume that next day really does mean next day anymore. Build your lead times into your bids or they'll eat your margins up. Guys, lead times, and that's where I wish Squirt was here because, he used to be an estimator. And getting out and doing things like that, you've got to understand, look, we're fixing to need a ton of this. And if the supply chains are moving slow, you got to figure out how to get around it. And one of the best things to do, especially the larger you are, is reach out and let them know, look, we've got this bid. Remember the bid y'all gave us a price on? Remember the bid y'all were awarded? Well, in order to y'all get paid on that, we've got to get the product. So I need y'all to start thinking about this because this is going to get started here in a month. And maybe turn in your first orders a month early and say, look, we already know we're going to be doing the underground before we do the top out. Order your materials for all your underground. If it's a huge job and you need to stage it, or it's going to be done in phases, order it in phase. Hey, phase one, we're going to be doing the north end of the building. Maybe it's the north third of the building. Whenever we built Parkland Hospital, we started with one little area. That thing became massive. So understand what you're going to be getting into and look ahead and be ready for it. And I'm going to jump into the questions here real quick. Larry Omenstein says, Roger Wakefield, how are you? Man, we are doing good. Hope you're doing great, brother. Appreciate that very much. I hope you're doing well too. Matt says, safety is such a great thing to keep informed about at all times. Don't be careless about your work. Everyone needs to go home with all their body parts and their life. And guys, they need to go home like that each and every day. I tell you all the time about when I was a superintendent over at Medical City, the trailer that we had our safety meeting in, and I was the head superintendent, so I had to go to this meeting every week. And it was like Tuesday, either right before lunch or right after lunch. And I always made sure to get there early because I wanted to sit in his chair because there was a poster across from me. And I tell y'all, it looked like Squirt when he was little. But on that poster, it showed this little kid sitting on the beach, and it says, how do you tell a 5-year-old daddy's never coming home again? And it could be dad, it could be mom. But man, when you think about that, go home and look at your kids and think, how would they feel if somebody came to tell them daddy's not coming home again? And then look at the people that are in your charge, that you manage, that you help each and every day. Are you putting them in a safe place to work? Because you may have to be the one to show up at their parent or their children's house and tell their wife, their husband, their kids, hey, I hate to tell you this, daddy's never coming home again. Make sure we think about safety all the time. Got to get back to work. Larry, you have a great day, brother. Matt McDonough says next day means maybe next week. Yeah, maybe this week, maybe next week. John Pittman says, you've got a sick handlebar mustache. Thank you, sir. And Ariel Ramos Says, do you think fire alarm is a good, stable trade to work in? Yeah, I did fire protection systems. We did the alarms. We did everything. But yeah, man, any trade these days, guys, work's going to keep growing. And the more you can learn about the IoT, the Internet of Things, how they all tie together, it's going to be even better. All right, we're going to roll right into mindset growth. Alignment. Make sure your team owns change and doesn't resent it. Every contractor goes through change. We know that. There's software updates. There's new safety policies. Maybe there's shifts in the company structure. But what separates a strong crew from a toxic one is how those changes are rolled out. Nobody likes change. We know it. But guys, it's something that's got to happen. When people feel change is done to them instead of with them, you lose the buy-in. And the key is connecting change to purpose. Tell your crew why it matters. Tell them how it helps their day, how it helps their safety, or maybe even helps their paycheck. Early adopters, those are your best salespeople for change. Recognize them publicly and others will follow. I used to be one of those superintendents. They'd bring me a new deal and say, hey, Roger, we want you to start using this. I'll say, okay, show me how to use it. Once I started using it, they'd call me in meetings and say, Roger, how's that new program working out? It's like, man, I love it. Here's what it's doing. And then the other superintendents come to me and say, how'd you get to learn that? It's like, man, somebody showed me once and I jumped in and started playing with it. Man, I figured out how to make it do this and this and this. Anytime you can do things better, people want to see it. But never forget, communication is the bridge. Silence breeds rumors, but clarity builds confidence. Align your initiatives with results, and your people will start pulling towards the same goal. Guys, change is going to happen. It's going to happen in, like I said, the systems you use, the safety protocols that you have. OSHA's changing things all the time. We got to be ready for it, and we got to be able to do it. And I was waiting for you, Matt. Matt McDonough says, the beautiful mustache of wisdom. Thank you, brother. All right, guys, remember, I get to sponsor this video. I get to sponsor it because of what I started doing on YouTube 7.5 years ago. And it blows my mind that it's been that long. But literally, the end of February, 1st of March, I walked into a conference 7.5 years ago. And I walked in to learn more about Facebook. And I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I was 54 years old at the time. And I'm like, you know what? Facebook is something that we could start doing to help tell people about us. And to be honest, it was. But at that conference, I learned about this new thing, this new tool called YouTube. I know it surprises a lot of y'all. Maybe you don't even know about it yet. Well, then again, maybe you're on here or you're on Instagram or you're on TikTok. But guys, I found out about YouTube. And the way I found out about it, this guy walks out on stage. He says, YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world. And look, I'm one of these people, I think I know a lot of stuff. So I literally shut my notebook. I thought, this guy's stupid. He doesn't know anything about YouTube. It's just where I store my videos. Think about that. I shut my notebook and I was raising up, getting ready to walk out. And I looked at the back of the room and it was standing room only. And I thought, maybe this guy does know something. And I turned back around and looked up in time to hear him say, and it's owned by Google, the largest search engine in the world. And I literally thought, wow, I'm spending a lot of money on Google that's not really working. Why aren't I spending any money on YouTube? Little did I know that when I started making videos, YouTube would end up sending me money. It's kind of a good turnaround. Instead of sending them a lot, they started sending me a lot. And I'm like, okay, I like this. Guys, if you want to learn how to do YouTube for you, your industry, your business, your profession, whatever it is, go to justmattroger.com. At justmattroger.com, there's a link there. It takes you straight into a free webinar. Guys, this free webinar kind of answers some of the questions that a lot of you have saying, look, I can't do YouTube because, well, you know what? You don't need a lot of fancy equipment. If you've got a phone, you're probably good. You can learn to video on your phone. You can learn to edit on your phone. You can learn to do everything on your phone. We started with YouTube. Then we went into LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I've got almost as many followers on TikTok as I do on YouTube. Guys, getting out there and learning to do it can make a difference in your business. Go to justmattroger.com, check it out, and come back in here and let me know what you think. This video is also sponsored by Residential Service Professionals. If you want to learn more about growing a business the right way, a lot of people get into business or get into owning their own business thinking, I want to do it this way. I want to do it this way. But I hate to say it. Now, I learned this when I started my own business. I didn't even know what I didn't know. But we do this, and then we start looking at, okay, wait, why aren't I making money? I want y'all to know I had to refinance my house like 3 times. I still haven't got caught up yet, but I'm getting close. But guys, here's the thing is, you start doing things because, hey, this is what the other company's doing. Guys, most companies out there aren't going to make it a year. Some of them aren't going to make it 5 years. Most of them won't 5. Some of them might make it a year. You do what you got to do, but learning the right things, getting a business operating system to teach you and help you with these things is the best way to do it. And if you want anything like that, go to residentialserviceprofessionals.com and check it out. If you'll do that, I'm telling you, I think that you'll find a best practice group that will give you the coaching, the consulting, the business operating system to help you free up more time to where you can spend more time working on your business, not in your business. That makes a big difference. And this video is also sponsored by LeakPro. Plumbers across the country are learning leak detection the right way from other plumbers. LeakPro's 2-day in-person training includes a full leak detection kit. You've got to have the complete kit, hands-on instruction, and access to proven techniques using line locating, using the LeakPro Sidekick, using the LeakPro probe. We've got 11 leaks under the slab and 1 outside of it. We had a California trainee recover an entire 3 kits. Let me say, he spent over $20,000 for 3 kits and 3 people to get trained. Went back to work on Monday. They knew they were coming in for training on Friday and Saturday. Flew home either Saturday night or Sunday morning. Recouped his entire investment that Monday. And literally called us, says, look, I want you to know we made our money back the first day. They found a leak, gave them a price to go in, do the repair. Guys, quit giving your leak detection work to someone else. They're telling your people, hey, if y'all don't like their price, talk to us. We've got a plumbing company we recommend. Guys, I've seen it happen. And then they're also 8 weeks out. Do you want to make your customers wait 8 weeks for anything? Guys, when you learn to do this, it's simple, it's repeatable, and it's designed for real world jobs. Every plumber you have should be looking at the meter. Is there a leak in the house? Just let them know. Do a water test on the house if there is. Let them know, look, you've got a leak somewhere. This is not classroom theory. This is on the slab learning how to find the leaks. Now, classes are limited to 3 attendees max. That way, we ensure every attendee gets one-on-one time. And guys, it works. If you want to find out more about the complete kit, go to leak.pro. If you want to talk to Henry about getting scheduled, and I know I've been saying Henry a lot today. If you want to talk to Squirt, give him a call at 8888 LeakPro and reserve a spot to get in here, get your complete kit, and get trained. Guys, if you're a plumbing company owner and you want to increase your revenue, your bottom line, it's the best way to do it. If you're a plumber and you want to make more money, you want to bring more skills to the companies that you work for, great way to do it. When you tell your company owner, look, I know that we keep referring out the leak detection, but I can do that. I've got the kit, pay me more money, pay me for my tools, and we'll be good. Man, you can start your own business. It's not a bad opportunity. Go check out leak.pro, or like I said, give Squirt a call at 8888 LeakPro. All right, we're going to roll right into all trades. And this is joint equipment pools and shared rigging strategies. And we're seeing more and more of this because on large sites to move equipment, sharing models. If you've got to move equipment, but you don't have to move it every day, you don't want a Skytrack sitting there for months at a time. If you can share that lift equipment with someone else, it's amazing. Now, cranes, I get it. If you need small cranes to offload trucks to lift up to a building, maybe it's a small site, they don't have a tower crane. But sharing cranes, lifts, Skytracks, the telescopic handlers, I love the extreme equipment. Man, I grew up on that stuff. But instead of every trade renting their own gear, what if they pulled it all in together and created a shared schedule? What days do you have it? If you know, hey, look, I can only get the crane on Wednesdays because that's your day, you schedule your deliveries for first thing Wednesday morning. That way you're unloading, you're using the crane, you're scheduling it, and you try to get all the deliveries you can, get all the pipe scattered all through the floor, everything you've got to do. You want to stage as much as you can. When this happens, crews save time, they cut costs, and they reduce the clutter on congested sites. If you can get material out and fly it straight to where it goes, man, you're doing fantastic. But it only works if accountability is tight. Every piece of shared equipment has to have a log, an inspection record, sign-out system, a calendar to know when people have it. And it may be, look, you get it for 2 hours in the morning, you get it for another 2 hours in the morning, you get it for 2 hours in the morning, you get it for 2 hours or 2 hours in the afternoon. You got 4 hours in the morning, 4 hours in the afternoon that everybody knows, hey, I've got that for 2 hours. And if you need it, man, you plan all your lifts or movement around that. QR tags or barcode tracking make it easy to charge back usage accurately. And when trades share lift spans and rigging hardware, safety inspectors love it because there's fewer variables. There's cleaner documentation. The person who inspects the rigging equipment doesn't have to work for you. He could be a trained rigging equipment person for another company. And this kind of coordination is the next step towards truly integrating the job sites. And guys, if you're looking at stuff like this, it's a great way to do it. All right. Matt McDonough says, go LeakPro and Roger Wakefield Plumbing Education, making the trades great again. I love it, brother. Helping Handyman is in the house is good Monday morning, fellows. Absolutely. Great day to be in here. All right. Laws and licenses. Licensing reciprocity for trades in neighboring states. Now, guys, I'm going to get on my soapbox here for a minute because I've been saying for years, I truthfully think the United States needs a national MEP board where you take a national certification. The government says, hey, this person's licensed to do plumbing in any state, plumbing, electrical, and HVAC, MEP. I think that we're missing the boat, y'all. This allows us when there's a major catastrophe, say Louisiana, they get hit by a flood. Well, if there's plumbers in California and Seattle, Washington State, that aren't working, they can travel down there and work. And Louisiana needs them. If they've got a national certification that says, yeah, look, we know the codes are different. I'm in Texas. There's different codes almost in every county around. But it's all plumbing. All I've got to do is find out what code book this company or this municipality or this city or this state or whatever it is, what do they build by? Now I know what to go by. I've got my directions. I have my Bible. But cross-border reciprocity is quietly reshaping how contractors operate. States like Texas and Oklahoma are developing frameworks to honor each other's mechanical, plumbing, and electrical license. Mechanical, electrical, plumbing, MEP. That means faster mobilization, easier regional building, and fewer reapplications. Paperwork still matters, though. You know that. You've got to have the insurance. You've got to have the continuing education. You've got to have the local registrations. All that doesn't go away. Lobbyists are even pushing for a federal reciprocity standard under the Department of Labor. Guys, I've been shouting this for 2 years now. If that happens, multi-state contractors could expand faster than ever. Smart firms are already tracking reciprocity maps and pre-filling out documentation so they can move instantly when a call comes in across state lines. Now, me, I'm in Dallas. Chances are I don't want to drive to Oklahoma City to do a job. That's a 3.5, 4 hour drive. But if I'm in Texarkana and I want to work in Texas, Arkansas, maybe even Louisiana, if I want to hit a big area there, I can do it. Think of all these states that have four corners close together. To me, man, if it's within 50 or 100 miles, why can't I work there? Because across the state line, you still got plumbing. Water still runs downhill. It is what it is. All right, now I'm going to roll into business training. And this is scheduling for long lead procurement items. Now, the most dangerous phrase in construction right now is, it should be here by ... Long lead materials like big switchgear, big valves, especially some fixtures, this can derail schedules for weeks if it's not tracked closely. Guys, you've got to understand and remember, me and Scott have talked about this. There's sometimes you see items on a bid sheet, and it's like, hey, this has to be ordered now if this is really going to start up at this date. Contractors are now using material submittal calendars that sync procurement dates directly with critical path milestones. Guys, if you build a pull plan out right and you're like, hey, we're setting fixtures this date, and it's like, we've got a lavatory sink that's going to take 3 months to get in, you got to order them 90 days in advance. Matter of fact, I'd probably order them 120 days in advance. I'd rather hold them for 30 days and know they're there than try to build a schedule knowing, hey, they may not make it. The best practice, collaborate with the vendors early. Reserve your spot in their production queue, reserve their spot in their warehouse or their laydown yard, and assign one person to own procurement communication. It's not a glorified job or anything like that, but it's quite different. That could be the difference between a smooth handoff and a blown deadline. The companies that plan 3 steps ahead are the ones finishing jobs on time while everyone else is waiting on parts. And y'all have heard me talk about it. I've literally talked to Randy about, what made him good. And he said, Dad, look, you probably taught me one of the best things I could ever know. And that was to get 2 weeks ahead of my man. And if you're going into work today, trying to plan what your men are going to do today, you're already behind. I always try to stay in 2 weeks ahead, meaning I wanted the materials on the job site 2 weeks ahead. That way I could schedule it out to where the day before I was moving people into an area, maybe even 2 days before. I've got my yard dog move this pallet. Here's a list of what they're going to need, pull it, pallet it, get it up to the floor. And I wanted it there at least 24 hours before they moved in position. I wanted the materials, if there were any special tools that they needed, if there was any special equipment like a roustabout or something. Maybe they were doing storm pipe. I need a roustabout there. I don't want them climbing up and down ladders with 6-inch cast iron like I did. Give them what they need, get it up there. That way, when you get them up there, their job's to work. It's not to go looking around for what all they need. And if you'll do that, it works. Long lead procurement materials are something you need to be looking at from the get-go, because if you don't and it creeps up on you, if you're superintendent, if you're a project manager and procurement is your job, if you literally wait till the week before to say, hey, I'm going to order that now, and it's a 60-day lead item, you're already 7 weeks behind, and you're going to hurt your job. So these calendars are great. Learn how to use them and stay ahead of it. All right, vehicles. So rugged toolkits and mobile labs for diagnostics in harsh environments. And this stuff is great because, guys, we've got to have what we've got to have to get wherever we've got to go. Fleet vehicles are evolving into true mobile command centers. Many service vans now carry diagnostic stations, solar charging, vibration-proof storage for sensitive equipment, in oil fields, in solar farms, or maybe even at the border zones where we're building walls again. These setups mean techs can test, repair, and report issues without having to head back to base. Now, adding onboard Wi-Fi, guys, I love that. I've got it on my truck, and I think it's great. I mean, I can literally stop somewhere, pull out my computer, get on it, and it's like I'm in the office. Now, maybe I don't have a desk. I hadn't found a steering wheel yet that has a fold-down desktop. But I'm always available no matter where I'm at. With that Wi-Fi on board, I can literally, I can set and send emails. I can build a website. I can do what I need to do. But adding onboarding Wi-Fi and calibrated equipment turns a truck into a rolling lab. If you're doing testing, like that third-party testing that we always talk about, IEQ, indoor air quality, if you're doing that and you can come in and upload it right from your van, you're going to get these reports back quicker. The ROI, fewer wasted trips, quicker troubleshooting, and more billable hours per shift. This is the perfect mix of rugged hardware and smart systems, and it's setting the new standard for remote service work. Guys, anything that you can do to speed your technicians up, to give them more tools to work with. And one of my favorites, man, if y'all ever seen it, there's some cool videos on YouTube about the Milwaukee pack out van build out. And I saw this one, guys. And actually, man, I was at Pipeline one year in Milwaukee, and literally there was a workbench right behind the driver's seat. So, you know, you got to get out or walk through the door. You've got the headache rack there that protects you. But you come back in, and literally he had a mini stool, had a desk. He could literally sit here and work, had lights above it, had charging stations on it. He could charge phones. He could charge batteries for his equipment. But he also had a computer there. But also he could bring in his testing equipment. He could upload it to his computer. He could shoot video and upload it. He could do so many different things. And I was just like, man, I love this. And then the entire rest of the vans, like the ones that I see on YouTube a lot, are built out with pack out storage systems. And we use those in our vans and freaking love them. But if you'll build an office that your people can work in, maybe they don't have to come in the office every morning. Maybe you do your huddles on Zoom. You know, Tersh Blissett jumped in here the other day. He's got a completely remote company. He's got a company that says, look, we don't have an office. We do all our meetings on Zoom. We can meet somewhere if we need to. We can get together at a supply house. We can get an office space to go visit. But guys, it's not hard to do. Build it out where it works. All right, I'm going to jump into my questions over here on YouTube. Guys, if y'all are on TikTok or Instagram, I can't see your questions very well. So what I'll tell you is if you've got questions, please jump over to YouTube, find the Trade Talks Live. That's where I'm at. And jump in, ask us a question, but also tell us where you came from. I do appreciate it. Only got a couple. Matt says, I remember the great freeze. We could have sent licensed people for the disasters. Guys, I was bringing in plumbers. Look, the good thing is I got to jump in a call with Lisa Hill, the executive director of the Texas State Board, and Governor Abbott. And they were talking about what do we need to do to help people get through this. And Lisa Hill and Frank Denton, man, put together an amazing plan. Said, look, we're going to allow temporary licensing in Texas. So when plumbers came in, man, we were able to put them straight to work. So Matt, you're right. A national certification to me would be amazing. Matt also says everything has to run like a well-oiled machine or you lose money. And that is true. And yeah, I know you're right. Matt says my office is the truck. Now, Matt, do you have Wi-Fi in your truck or is it all cellular? And look, I can do a lot of stuff cellular. I just love having the Wi-Fi. So literally my computer, I just turn it on and it's already connected. And I have great Wi-Fi. So it works. It makes it where I can do what I need to do. Pretty neat stuff. All right, guys, we are going to roll into social media. And I got to move some screens around here. I'm going to add this to the stage. All right, what we're talking about here is Stud Pack, because Stud Pack continues to set the standard for craftsmanship content. The father and son duo showcases everything from framing layouts to drywall finish work with humor, precision, and absolute respect for the trades. Guys, we've had them in here. We've brought them in for a podcast interview. It was great. Their success proves that professionalism doesn't have to be boring. Every post teaches a small lesson: measure twice, cut once, make it clean. With over 1 million combined followers across platforms, they've built a community that loves seeing high quality work done right. And it's a reminder to every tradesperson with a phone, your work is your portfolio. Show it off. People will follow quality. And guys, at the end of the day, that's what we want. We want to show great work. We want to do good things with it. Now, if you look at their channel, we're going to jump into the more right here and go to About. They started their channel in May of 2019, so about a year after me. They're up to 732,000 subscribers, which is phenomenal. And they've got 122 million views. I love that. I'm going to do like Randy. We're going to jump right into videos. And we're going to go look at their oldest first. Now, oldest video: how do I install a new front porch lights that will last forever? You got another one over here: tunneling under a concrete footing for a sewage drain. So if you're replacing a drain, sometimes you got to do that. There he is chipping the bottom of it too. Oops, didn't quite mean to click on the video, but yeah, sometimes that's what we do. Chipping them out isn't always the funnest thing to do. But you look at these, 70,000 views from 6 years ago. Now, 6 years ago, they were putting up a lot of stuff. Now, I love this right here: installing a curbless shower, sloping the floor. You've got to know how to do it. I want to see if it will take me here, and it will. And I don't know that it'll let me flip that over. I want you to see them bigger, so I'm going to go back to here. All right, so I love that you get to see this. We're going to go back to most popular videos. 4-way gang boxes. I love these. And if you do these things right, like he says, they will last forever. And here he's got what a DIYer does, what a pro does, how to build the perfect shower pan pre-slope. Now, this is good because I'm telling you, I know a lot of plumbers that cannot slope their mortar. They cannot get down to the drain right, and that blows my mind. All these different things in here. Again, I did the exact same thing. Clicked on the video. Quit doing that, Roger. And TikTok, I know y'all can't see what I'm doing, but man, if y'all ever want to see it, jump over to YouTube. Back to the popular. All kinds of cool stuff here. An old lead shower drain. Yeah, they got rid of those a while back. Now we're going to look at the latest. Attic window just halted our build. Now this is from 3 days ago. So they're on another build now. Communication with the trades, guys, that is massive. Houses need this. Homeowners need to make this room a priority. Yeah, to me, man, almost all attics should be decked and done cool things. And build. I've got a bedroom upstairs I use as an indoor storage room. It's not a bad thing. Our bank deadline forces us to move quickly. So yeah, a lot of times you come up against schedules and things that you've got to do. Now, I love this, that they're not just building a house, they're building it, showing you how to do it. And then they're making videos to get paid from YouTube to do it. Got shorts here. And again, we're going to do these the same way. We'll do the latest since we're already here. Somebody sponsored this video. Most pros don't know this about Home Depot, and Home Depot is a great sponsor to have. It's funny because I get a lot of people complain about me doing sponsored videos. And those of y'all that don't know, I've got another channel, Roger Wakefield Plumbing Education. And I'll take sponsors on. And man, people jump in and try and bust my balls about it. And it's like, hey guys, look, here's what we got to do. We got to pay our staff to do what we do. So it is what it is. Most popular shorts. Got one here with 1.8 million views. This ancient leveling tool is still the best. Guys, water in a tube is the greatest leveling tool there is. Home Depot app is a game changer. Shop the whole job. And so many different things you can do. Good stuff here. And then our oldest ones. Why righties should use lefty tools. Still talking about the water level. That's probably why it's so popular. And then use this trick to make your garage door work better. Neat stuff. And guys, look, they're a great channel. I love what they do. They're great guys. And again, if you go look at them, man, they've been around for a while. They've been around since 2019. Made 409 videos, 732,000 subs, and 122 million views. Not a bad way to do it. Man, almost kicked me completely out. There we go. Yeah, that wasn't good. All right, I'm going to jump in the comments real quick. Matt says, my truck has Wi-Fi and my tablet has cell service. Yeah, and man, I love that. You're covered no matter where you're at. If you're in a house, if you're driving down the road, you can pull over and stop and work. Now, I don't get on my computer driving, but you know. The real Julie Jones in the house. Getting ready to talk about her in just a second. Says a national certification would be amazing. Says, I was with American Boilermakers Association last week, met people who are working on national and international standards for that industry. Great stuff. Matt McDonough says, hi, Julie. Not got to be a hero. Go LeakPro and Roger Wakefield Plumbing Education. I'll shoot you a picture of the new fishing belt. Fishing belt, tool pouch, whatever you call it. I get it, brother. Great seeing you in here, Matt. Love you, brother. Be good. Have a great day. All right, so now we're going to talk about best practices. Building repeatable business. Now, we all know this, but it's something we don't think about much, but consistency builds trust. Every contractor knows it, but few make a system around it. Start by documenting the small things. What is your dispatch checklist? What are your follow-up scripts? What is your post-job audit? What do your follow-up and follow-through emails look like? Then teach your crews to use them the exact same way every time. I always talk about a credibility statement. Walking up to a house, the first time you get there, you knock on the door, and when they answer, you ask them, Ms. Johnson, I'm Roger Wakefield. I'm here to fix your water heater. Do you mind if I ask you a question? Have you ever used us before? Now, the thing is, I already know she hadn't because I've checked the records. And when she says no, I'm going to say, well, do you mind if I take just a minute? Tell you about why I got into plumbing, why I came to work at Texas Green Plumbing, and why I continue to work here. And normally she's going to say, no, go right ahead. Well, Ms. Johnson, look, I love going to school. I was there for football and girls. So really, I wasn't the right guy to go to college. And I know I got told my whole life, if you don't go to college, you're not going to amount to anything. But I think I did something better. I went and learned a trade. And I learned how to help people in the trades by doing the trades right, by learning to be the best. And then when I found out about Texas Green Plumbing, I applied there. And I applied there because I knew that the owner was really strict about doing things right. And there's a lot of companies out there that I've learned about along the way that don't do things right. So I wanted that to be the company that I worked at. And when I interviewed, the owner told me, says, I will make sure you get a great training and a great education in this. And I still work there because Texas Green Plumbing has the best warranties. Texas Green Plumbing spends about $10,000 a year on each and every plumber, training them to make them get better. And don't you think doing things like that, I'm going to do a good job for you today? Man, you have let her know so much about you and the company right then that no matter what opportunity you bring to her, she's going to be like, yeah, I like it. Let's go. It's not always that way, though. Now, when you get into a best practice group, it may feel rigid at first, but it's what allows you to scale. Imagine your plumbers doing that each and every time they go on a job site. How do you do that, though? How do you train them? Record short videos. Record your SOP so every new hire learns the exact same process without draining your lead technician's time. You can make them come in the morning and say, hey, while he's putting materials in the truck, I want you to sit and watch these training videos this morning, today, whatever it is. Then review your systems quarterly. And I love this because Kat told this, that she used to be a Hooters waitress and moved all the way up to CEO of Cinnabon. Quarterly, trim the fat. She says every quarter she locks herself in her office for a day and looks at her company and says, if they hired a new hotshot CEO today, what would he come in and do to make waves? To let people know, look, I make things happen. Who would he get rid of? Who do we have that needs to be gotten rid of? Who do we have that needs to be promoted? Who do we not have that we need? Trim the fat, keep what works, and then expand. When your business runs on rails, you stop fighting fires and you start building growth because you're focused on where you're going. That's what residential service professionals is all about. Giving tradespeople the structure to scale without losing what makes them great. You started a company because that's the company that you wanted to start. You had an idea when you built it and you did it for a reason. You get great coaches like the real Julie Jones, me. You get a business operating system to give you systems and processes that help you get more time. Now you have more time to work in your business, not on your business. Now this video is sponsored by Residential Service Professionals. So if you want to find out more about it, go to residentialserviceprofessionals.com. Now this video is also sponsored by me because of what I do on YouTube. 7.5 years ago, I learned to use YouTube to grow a plumbing company. Now I teach people how to use YouTube to grow their companies. If you want to kickstart your YouTube channel and get it in a position where it is making your phone ring, where it's doing things to help you grow your business, to help you grow in your profession, whatever it is, it's a great opportunity. Go check out justmetroger.com. If you'll go check it out, I made a free webinar that's going to help answer some questions for you and put you in a position where you'll have more time to work on your business, not in your business. Again, justmetroger.com. This video is also sponsored by LeakPro, our main sponsor. And LeakPro is the most precise leak detection system for professional plumbers. The complete kit comes with the probe, which is right here over my shoulder. Or, I'm sorry, the sidekick and the probe, which I don't have one in here. But the LeakPro probe is a stainless steel rod. You can stick it in the ground. You don't have to worry about it bending. Now, don't try to bend it. You can. Then you got to replace it. It comes with the sidekick. This is great for in the house. If you're trying to listen to that concrete slab, you want the sidekick because the aluminum rod helps transmit the sound better. But it comes with the sidekick, the probe, 2 sets of headphones, the adapters to hook up, and the most professional looking carrying case you'll see on any leak detection system. And don't forget the training. Learn how to get trained on it. Learn how to use the equipment that you've got. Squirt offers training 2 days a week in Dallas. You fly to Dallas, you come out to Wiley, go through training on either Monday, Tuesday, which is the days we recommend, or we could schedule a Thursday, Friday. We've done that before. But guys, get in, learn how to use the equipment, and put more money in your bottom line. To find out more about the complete kit, go to leak.pro. And to find out more about the training, give Squirt a call at 8888 LeakPro. Guys, we love what we get to do. I'm going to jump in here real quick. Matt says, okay, got to go. We talked to that. And Julie says, hi, Matt McDonough. Happy Monday. And guys, remember, it's Monday. Where are your teams working? Are they in a safe spot? Are they working safe? Are they doing things right? Most accidents happen on Monday and Friday. Don't let them happen to you. Whatever you do out there today, do it safe and hit it effing hard. You know that we will. Bye, guys.